Hello, hello, hello. This is not a combo guide, tier list, or play this character, or in trying to enforce my opinion upon you. This is a series of case studies on all characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ, and today we're covering Captain Ginyu. At first glance, when people see Captain Ginyu, he is big brain, literally. He has the entire Ginyu force at his beck and call, and at times he can overwhelm the screen with so much stuff going on that your opponent can have to deal with what's going on here. So it feels like so much is coming on the screen because he pollutes the screen so much. Now let's talk about zones as always. You have up close, mid range, and far. Now the cool thing about Ginyu is he has kind of tools for every single range. So up close, got 5L. It's 5L. Oh, safe. He can't chain that, but he can chain his 2L. If you look at what opponent is standing, that's not a low. Looks like one, but it's not a low. He has his 2M, which a lot of people don't know from far is actually safe. Only -7 close. 5M is advancing, so this can keep Ginyu's pressure when your opponent's not really pressing buttons there. That's what he's standing again. 5H actually hits low. Put it on switch. A lot of people don't know this is actually a change. He can actually hold it. Doesn't really change the frame data on block. As you can see, he's still -10. Just makes it a bit longer. But that's actually a really cool tool in his arsenal. 2H is on the slower end, but it's still a 2H nonetheless. So those are kind of his normals. He has a great cross-up M button. Hits really far. So this is really good for kind of mixing your opponent up. When Ginyu has his force members kind of on call. Great jump H, Ginyu has as well. Now those are his normals. Let's go through his supers. So supers, Ginyu has this move here. If you hold down the button, depending on the bar, that itself nets a little knockdown. So I'll show you right now. If you do it normally, the opponent can tech. If you hold it down, there. So that's level 3. So if you level 2, opponent can still tech out. Then he has a level 3, which is body swap. Doesn't really help that both of them are Ginyu, but you get the gist. So you're able to change body with your opponent. And for instance, let's say if I changed with, let's say Kid Buu. We know Kid Buu has a plethora of moves. Once you body swap with someone, you retain all of their moves. So if you are Ginyu, so now I'm Kid Buu, I have all of Kid Buu's moves. Whereas my opponent on the other side, he has only my shoulder and this. But apart from that, my opponent has nothing else. He doesn't have any of the Ginyu members and nothing else. Now back to Ginyu. So he also has another level 3, new addition to season 3. This is a new addition to season 3, so that's a good move there. So those are his supers. Let's go through his specials. So specials, Ginyu's got quite a few of them. He's got 236L, which is that shoulder. That's a really good move to use with Ginyu. Good move as an ender for all of his strings. So it's only -5, so it's a really good move. Good range as well. And at round start, probably one of the fastest round start moves there. Obviously at round start. Ginyu also has, most importantly, the S button. So by pressing S with Ginyu, you don't get the traditional S motion. You get a Ginyu force member. So you press S normally, you get that. S normally you get Raccoon kick. You get Berta kick. So you get lots of, these are all the strikes. So their normal S button are all strike normals. If you do 236 and S, you get Gildo up close. You get Raccoon beam, just like a normal beam. You get Burr rush. And then if you do it again, you get Comet. And if you do it backwards, 214S, you get a closer Gildo, who's right in your face. So this is more like the defensive one. Here you get Raccoon's charge, which takes 20 years to come out. but one of the core moves, the bomber, you get Berta's move on the ground. That move is actually really good in the corner, but I'll show that after. And if you do it again, you get Comet. So yeah, those are his specials. But anyway, that's enough about Ginyu specials. Let's go into kind of his win conditions. What does Ginyu want? What does Ginyu want in a partner? Now, Ginyu himself is one of the most damaging characters in the game, and combined with damaging, if not the most damaging character in the game, combined with his force calls. But one thing Ginyu is really looking for with partners is block stun. So Ginyu himself, if he's offered block stun with the correct assists, he's able to, let's put him on reflect. He's able to cycle through his force members. So here, that's all he wants. He wants to be able to cycle through obviously force members. Let's put Bardock on Bardock B. One more time. One more time. Sorry about that. I haven't played this arrangement before. As long as Ginyu can set up his force members, so you can set up mix-ups you've practiced in training mode. That's what Ginyu really wants. He really wants that block stun, because he himself getting in isn't a problem. But if that is your prerogative and you do want to get in, helping him with a beam assist or an assist, a horizontal assist, is helpful for him. So if he does have a Bardock B, for instance, Bardock B reaches obviously full screen, helps Ginyu cycle through whatever he's going through. Now, I think one of the biggest win conditions for Ginyu, obviously in this season, especially this season, is introduction of C assists. So with C assists, it allows Ginyu to tap into one of his strongest tools, which is the body swap. So here, with an easy combo, I was able to switch bodies with Kid Buu. Now I am Kid Buu. So C assists uniquely allow Ginyu to do this. So most C assists in the game allow this. It's just a normal combo into Gildo, and then just body swap. It's literally that easy. So you can set that up with most C assists in the game, or most very high block stun assists, or whichever you use. But C assists are probably the easiest. One more time. You can set this up really easily. So yeah, so the win conditions of Ginyu, obviously the block stun, the body swap, but he himself, he doesn't really need a lot of help. So a beam will help him kind of get in, but Ginyu himself kind of puts so much on the screen that your opponent has to worry. Now, if you're fighting against Ginyu, this is where it gets interesting. So Ginyu, if you're fighting against Ginyu himself, you have to realize the management of his force members means his offense is very varied. So depending on which force member is available, Ginyu doesn't really have the greatest of quote-unquote mix-up options. So when he's doing all of this, depending on which force member is out, so if I did obviously Gildo and here, apart from that, all I have from there is IAD. He doesn't really have any I'm offer 2-in-1 actually. He doesn't really have any high options. So from here, he doesn't really have any high very good overhead pressure. Aside from the corner, of course, where Ginyu's able to do, I'll show you a snippet where with the right assists, Ginyu's able to do something like this. Put River Cream on. There we go. One second. Yeah, see, with the right assist, so obviously with Raccoon, 236S of Raccoon, the beam, and 214S of Berta, it pulls them out of the corner. So aside from the corner where Ginyu is able to get same side super dash, or really set the opponent up, there, he does mid-screen. He doesn't really have that pressure. So mid-screen, all your opponent is really worrying about is the screen being filled up, like so. Let's keep going. They're really just afraid of the screen being filled up. But apart from that, your opponent is just going to navigate through the course of that. So there's no really overhead pressure he has there, apart from 6M and obviously same side super dash. there's no really real threat to an overhead. So most people will say, oh, quote unquote, you can block it out. Obviously, Ginyu is putting so much on the screen, so it's a lot to worry about. So with all of this, and obviously when he ends his strings there, he's obviously minus 19. So a lot of Ginyus will obviously vanish. That's why a lot of people, by himself, he's actually minus. You can't call a lot of his assist members by himself. Unless he does obviously 236H or he's from far. So that's something that Ginyu has to kind of worry about. Let me go back to the character select screen. So what we showed there with Ginyu is obviously Vegeta assist, and we had Bardock. And on the other side I had, this is all random select by the way, Kid Buu and Broly. So we talked about the win conditions with Ginyu. Two things he's kind of looking for in a partner is either looking for partners with either very big block stun, or characters that are allowing Ginyu to activate this body swap, because Ginyu himself does so much damage. If with the right conditions met, Ginyu can do a lot of damage, while also doing huge block stun and making his opponent block and really having to guess while Ginyu's cycling through these options. Body swap is also good for him as well. So if we look for big block stun, you have Bardock B, you have even Bardock A. Not a lot of block stun is really needed for Ginyu, just enough for him to allow him to do a force member. So kind of anything over plus 29 and above, or calling from afar. Body swap, so a majority of C assists in the game, I showed you with Bardock C assists, there are probably a hell of a lot of C assists, so go check that out, that allow you to easily body swap with really big ease. Then you have on the other side, you have Kid Buu. All three of his assists are really good for Ginyu. And obviously Broly, there was a third condition but he's looking for in a partners that let him get in or help him control space. Broly's B assist is very good for that. So it allows him to control an angle that Ginyu's not great at handling, or just allows him to call force members. Now, if you are fighting against Ginyu, we talked about the management of force members means he has a very varied offense. Now, varied could be good in a lot of scenarios, but for Ginyu, what that means is there's no staple way for him to kind of set up. He has to always be thinking about, okay, I've used this force member, and ending pressure in either unsafe ways, with calling force members into vanish, or calling force members from full screen, which he can do, which is a lot safer for him. So that's what he has to kind of worry about. Instead of attacking, he has to worry about what his force members are. And aside from the corner, as we showed there with 236S Raccoon and 214S Berta, there's no real overhead pressure or cross-up pressure. So aside from the corner, him setting up in that way, you don't really have to worry unless he's set up with a certain assist while you're facing Ginyu. So it's not really something you have to worry about. Now, if you just go through partners, which partners you would use. We already showed kind of the top line, so you could use Baseku because for his block stun, Tien for his beam, Yamcha for all of his assists. As you see, the list goes on. So there's so many partners we can use for Ginyu here. Now, I hope this helps someone. Now, if you liked it, leave a like. I really want to create this community of critical thinkers where we really think about the characters that we use. So if you want to continue discussion, just leave a comment section. If you're thinking of Ginyu as well and this video helped you, I'd love to hear about it. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.